Analyst Brian Sobel is joining us now from our newsroom here. Brian, all eyes really on these two Republican senators,
yes.
Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. What do you believe the Trump administration is going to do to try to win their support here for this nominee?
Well, first of all, every Republican vote in the Senate is needed. So if you have any defections, Alex, this thing is going to be held up or that nominee will not be put forward. So whatever they need to do, that is the Republicans, to assure these two senators that this nominee, whoever it is here in just a little while, will not go out of their way to overturn Roe v. Wade or any of these other issues that they're most concerned about. They're going to go and talk to them about that and hopefully assure them from the Republican standpoint that there won't be any problems with the nominee. Now, for Democrats, it's a whole other thing, because they're going to go out and say, hey, as Dianne Feinstein just did, this is going to assure huge changes.
Yeah, and this go-round, Brian, it's a little different than it was with Neil Gorsuch. The GOP majority has been cut, and as you mentioned, I mean, they need every single Republican. You've been in Washington. You know how these nomination hearings go, how this process works. How likely is it, do you think, that you are actually going to get enough support to get this nominee confirmed?
Well, the Democrats, the strategy has to be just pick off one person, pick off two Republican senators. The Republican strategy is find senators that are in red states that are in danger of being thrown out of office and get to them and say, hey, you support the president here, that'll bode well during the election. So you may see a switch of a seat or two, not more than that at the very most. This thing is going to come down heather to the wire.
How concerned do these three Democrats we're looking at right here need to be about how they vote when it comes to these confirmation hearings? I was already reading that, you know, potentially there are going to be ads running for whoever this Supreme Court nominee is in their home states. I mean, there's going to be a lot of political pressure put on them,
yes.
By the Trump administration.
Well, just Republicans, Alex, in general.
In general,
I mean,
sure.
Yep, not just the administration, because Republicans in their own states will be going after them. You take somebody like a Thomas Hardiman, who our professor friend is perhaps putting in the front position here. If it's Hardiman, Hardiman's already been before Senate hearings where he went 95-0, 95 votes for him and 0 against confirmation. So there's going to be all this political posturing, and it is going to be a very hairy next few weeks.
Yeah, Brian, I mean, as we all know, every nomination hearing, it seems as though, is a brutal one. But this one, the stage is really set for a confirmation hearing that we have not seen the likes of before. Do you think that is just this whole fact that it is President Trump, the way that he handles things, his presidency in general, that is creating such a rift here?
Well, yes and no. It has a lot to do with President Trump, but also if one of these four, as an example, is nominated and confirmed, it means that this will be the most conservative Supreme Court in decades, arguably. And so for Democrats, it's worth fighting about. Now, whether they have enough votes or whether the Republicans have enough votes, we will see. And that in there is going to be the major fight.
All right, KTVU political analyst Brian Sobel joining us from our newsroom. We appreciate that, Brian.
Absolutely.
Thank you.